Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first ever flag to flag coverage of the FCR World Tour. Today's event takes place in Nelson Forks, Canada. It is the Maple Leaf Classic. Today, 11 drivers look to tackle this 1.2 mile street circuit in a 12 lap sprint to the finish. No points on the line today. It is all up for trophy and money here on this short street circuit in British Columbia. Now, the drivers have been given a warning to be called to their cars soon, so they're trying to make some last-minute adjustments, get some final words in and final thoughts before they go racing and do their warm-up lap. Now, before they get the engines fired up and get driven away, it's time for the pre-race show presented by Domino's. I'm sitting here in Fan Square, where normally for the rest of the year it's simply an empty lot in the middle of town. But for the past week, this place has been converted for the center for fans to have a great time and come and hang out and party. Last night at 11 o'clock, or even later, there was a concert going on here. And then when me and my crew showed up this morning at 6 o'clock, it was pouring down rain and there were still people out having a great time here. I have met some amazing people here in the crowds. I have met some crazy people here in the crowds. But if you want to come watch a race, or you want to come watch the Maple Leaf Classic, this is where you go. Now, enough about the fans. Now let's move on to the race. Like I said earlier, this is an exhibition race. No points on the line, simply prize money and a trophy. Now, with that being said, there's normally two approaches to this. There's either the main approach of come back with the steering wheel or the trophy, but lately I've been hearing a lot of rumors of teams going for another approach. We're just simply using this as a test session to see what they have. Now let's look at the teams competing in today's event, starting out with Octane Racing. They've entered two cars into today's event, with the lead driver Andrew Altine looking very fast in practice, with teammate Thomas Parker following in his footsteps. The other two-car team entered today's event is Team Desert Speed. The Las Vegas, Nevada-based team is looking to show some strength here on the road courses, but most of their speed has lied in the ovals as of late. Now, there is one thing that has been holding them back throughout testing and practice, and that's reliability issues. During testing, they blew 4 engines during the week, and during practice the other day, Davis Shaw blew a motor, meaning he'll have to start at the rear for today's race. Next up is the prancing horse themselves, Ferrari. They've entered themselves into the World Tour, this being their second year, along with sophomore driver, Frenchman Miles Charon. He won last year in China and is looking to improve upon himself this season, and we'll have to see if he can do that. He starts up front, he starts first, see if he can walk away with a victory today. Now, they look to have everything in their favor today. They have the most powerful engine of anyone on the grid, and they have the hometown local hero, Alan Hunt. So hopefully he can put on a show for the whole hometown crowd and walk away with a victory. Now, on to a brand new team and a brand new driver. That's Spirit of Japan. Spirit of Japan is also bringing in their rookie 19-year-old Devin Woodsworth. Both seem pretty unproven, but during practice, Woodsworth was putting up some respectable times for the rookie. Now on to Norse GP and another rookie driver, Anton Kozlov. Kozlov is looking to raise the bar for the team and take them from being a back marker to a contending for wins a week in and week out. His ambitions are high, but maybe he'll be able to achieve it, and he showed some speed in practice, but not as much in qualifying. He starts midfield. Next up is Atlantic Racing and their driver Antonio Andres. Now, Atlantic Racing they could be contending very well for wins and podiums week in and week out. They have the potential, but many people have been pointing to Andres as being the source of keeping them back. Andres is looking to put those critics to rest and silence them once and for all with a win today in the Maple Leaf Classic. Next up is an icon of the series, Robert Nadel and Nadel Motorsports. They've been around since day one in this series and have always been a contender for wins. But lately it seems like they've been lacking a little bit. They've gone from being a week in and week out winning contender to a mid-pack or even a back marker team. Now it looks like Robert's trying to turn that around, as he showed speed in practice, but he couldn't put together in qualifying. Maybe he'll be able to charge his way up through the front today and pull off a win. And lastly, we have Sparks Auto Works and Rachel Sparks. Now, Sparks Auto Works has been making improvements little by little as of late, but their driver, Rachel Sparks, probably needs to get a little bit more experience under her belt before she can truly elevate this team to a podium contender. Now that's all for the teams. Sounds like the engines have been fired and the cars are about to roll off. As the cars roll off the grid, let's take a look at the starting lineup. In row 1, we have Miles Sharon and Alan Hunt. In row 2, we have Pete Wilkerson and Devin Woodsworth. In row 3, we have Andrew Altine and Anton Kozlov. In row 4, we have Thomas Parker and Antonio Andres. In row 5, we have Robert Nadell and Rachel Sparks. And rounding out the field is Davis Shaw in 11th place. Cars are finishing up their warm-up laps and are pulling onto the main straightaway to get lined up for the start of the race. And the lights are out. Here we go into turn number 1. Here comes Altine making it 3 wide into turn number 1. He's going to get 2 spots as they head down into the hairpin. Miles Sharon still leading with Alan Hunt hot on his heels. He gets blocked in turn 1, still single file out of turn 2 into the chicane and the hairpin. Down the front straightaway, Hunt's going to try it again, this time on the outside. They're going to take it side by side through 1 and 2, and down the back straightaway they go, still side by side. Into the hairpin. Miles Sharon still has the lead, but they're still side by side. Here comes Altine. He's going to make it 3 wide. Contact is made. They're both in the wall. Andrew Altine is going to take the lead and run away with it, but not so fast. Here comes Pete Wilkerson. He is on his tail. Out of turn number 2, still single file. Here comes Wilkerson. He's going to make a run for it. Contact is made. Side by side into turn 1. Looks like Wilkerson is going to get it out of 2. Pete Wilkerson taking the lead and pulling away a little bit from second place. On to lap number 7, halfway through this event. As the gap has grown steadily, and there's a battle for 4th. He's going to lock up the brakes. Big crash in turn number 1. Thomas Parker, Miles Sharon, Antonio Andres, and Anton Kozlov. He's going to get away from it. And the local driver, here's the recent Easton replay. Looks like he's going to get blocked and just locks up the brakes and has nowhere to go but into the back of Miles Sharon. And everyone else kind of just gets caught up in it. The red flag has been displayed. All the cars have lined up on the front straightaway. So there's some of the damage. Thomas Parker's car is absolutely mangled. Not much left of that. There's Thomas Parker. He's getting some help from medical personnel. He looks to be okay, though. And there's local hero Alan Hunt. He's out of it. Won't be able to bring home the trophy this year. There's all the debris scattered across turns 1 and 2. Huge accident here. Well, we're going to take a commercial break and hopefully get cleaned up by the end of this. We'll be back. And we're back as the pace car is pulling in, and we're going to have a sprint to the finish. 2 laps to go. Single file into 1 and 2. Altine loses a little bit of ground out of 2, but out of the hairpin. 1 lap to go. Here comes Altine. He's closing in. He dives it in. He goes wide. Crossover made. Into the chicane. Contact made. Altine's going to shove it into the corner. Wilkerson's in the wall. Devin Woodsworth, out of nowhere, is going to win the Maple Leaf Classic. Where did he come from? Instant replay. Contact is made in the chicane. Altine just returns the favor, loses the lead, and Devin Woodsworth just takes advantage of it and takes the victory. First career win for this young man, 19 years old. First start, pulls out the win. As there was an argument on pit road, it looks like, between Pete Wilkerson and the Octane crew. Looks like Davis Shaw ended up breaking that up. Here's what he was angry about. Altine just shoves him off the road. But then again, Altine ended up getting shoved by Wilkerson in the chicane. But there are your podium finishers. Devin Woodsworth taking away the victory. Robert Nadell ends up coming up in second. And Andrew Altine falls back to third. Here's your finishing results. As I said, Woodsworth first, Nadell second. Altine is in third. Rachel Sparks makes up to fourth, her best finish in her career. David Shaw, Anton Kozlov, Pete Wilkerson, Miles Sharon, Thomas Parker, Antonio Andres, and Alan Hunt rounds out the field of today's Maple Leaf Classic. I hope you all enjoyed this race. It was a little bit something different compared to what you normally see on my channel. So I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching.